Welcome back to The Void Compass, where we discuss all matters spiritual, esoteric, downright confusing, paranormal, whatever you want. We're going to talk about it. I would say I would launch into the shtick of, well, if you're new here, but the reality is I'm new here, so I can't really use that yet. There isn't too much to get familiar with. It's just me talking directly into a camera as authentically as possible, hopefully sharing enough wisdom that is going to leave you with something tangible to walk away with. What I don't like doing is having a video where someone is saying something and you've got no actionable information to walk away with. So that's one of the core pillars here. I want you always to leave with something that you can actually apply to your day, or you can store away in your knowledge box. Yeah. So something that I wanted to touch on is, in spiritual circles, the word manifesting is thrown about with much reckless abandon. What I mean is, the idea of manifesting has become somewhat of a buzzword. A buzzword that is essentially a vehicle for you to get what you want. The overarching message is, if I can match the frequency of something, I can have said something. I don't agree with that. I can already hear your mind, the machinations going, saying, well, you're just saying that because you don't have everything you want. No, I'm going to tell you why I disagree with it. Two main things. Number one, your soul already has a predestined path that it wants to take in this lifetime. A predestined idea, a blueprint, if you will, of what it wants to experience. That's number one. You're not going to change that. You're not going to affect that. That is going to happen. And two, who is asking for the thing that you say you want? Who's asking for it? When you say, or when you hear someone say, I really want that, who's asking? Who? It's your mind. The mind is asking. The mind is asking for the house, for the relationship, for the bump in pay, for the shiny new bag. I don't know. That's not my thing. It's the mind. So, my question becomes this. If someone tells me, for example, I really want to manifest that car, that Lamborghini, I really want it. I go, okay. I won't start by saying, well, listen, that's just your mind. Your mind is asking for the thing because it has its own agenda. I will say no. Tell me why you want it. Why do you want that? Why is it so important to you? What do you feel it is going to give you? And the person was, very inspired. They're doing their vision boards and they've got everything lined up, and they'll tell me, well, listen, it's a beautiful car. And I'm like, yeah, no doubt it is. Those are like 700 horsepower. Yeah, it's pretty sick. Really, really nice. Tell me what it does for you. Why do you want it? And slowly, when you let them speak, you will start realizing what it actually means to the person. Beyond the beauty of the car, what does it mean? And the person will say, well, I just really want it because I love the way it makes me feel, like driving it. I'm like, okay, cool. Let's get more specific. How do you feel? I feel like, I step out of the car and I just close the door and other people will see me. My friends will be pretty wowed by it, I just feel, just let them talk. Let them talk. I just feel like people will respect me more. I just feel like I suddenly have a bit of status. People will notice me. My whole life I just felt completely overlooked. I was overlooked in school. I wasn't really good at anything, and I'm just grown up and I'm doing this job and it just mean the world to me just to have one thing that would just wow everyone. Notice that's where the passion comes in. The voice gets louder, become more animated. So you wanted to balm your pain. That sounds like something mind would do. You are looking for an outside source, an outside medication, an outside solution to an inner world problem. That respect is never going to come from an outside source. You know why? Because there is no outside. What other people? You're in a self-contained, holographic version of the universe that is catered just to you. And before someone jumps in and goes, that's solipsism, you're saying there's nobody else in the world apart from you. No, I'm not saying that. Yes, everyone else does exist. We are in a collective consciousness, yes. But you're only ever interacting and seeing versions of other people that are exactly catered to you on your journey. That's why synchronicities between people abound as much as they do. Because it's all catered to you anyway. Because what's the point? Why? Because the soul wants to awaken. So it comes and incarnates into this experience as this non-physical 5D entity and goes, I want to learn about myself, but I want to do it in the most slowed down way. I want to forget what I am. I want to forget that I'm an all-knowing, all-present soul. I want to start from scratch. I want to understand what coming from limitation means. I want to understand that. I want to feel it. I don't just want to understand it intellectually. I want to feel it. I want to feel the despair. I want to feel being lost. I want to feel the confusion. And then I want to come back to a place where I uncover that and I start to find myself again by going into me, into my body, feeling my energy gateways through my body. That's what I want. So that's where you're coming from. So all these other people you're talking about gaining their respect, they are just reflections in this holographic, self-contained universe that is happening around you. So it does not matter what external variables you decide to change. Their attitude towards you will never change, because the internal world, which is the light behind the projector that's going poof, hasn't changed. That's like walking up to a mirror and expecting to see a smile in the mirror when you're frowning. It's never going to happen. And then you're trying to manipulate the face in the mirror image, but it's never going to change until you decide to smile first. And in this case, this is about coming back in and going, why do I feel small? Why do I feel overlooked? How am I overlooking myself? How am I not loving myself? What parts of me have I not accepted? This is the inner work. That's what soul is pushing you to do, which leads me to my next point. Why on earth, if soul has a clear blueprint of overcoming this theme in this gentleman's life who wants the Lambo, why would it do you the disservice of handing you the very thing that is going to distract you from yourself and from your inner process? Now you start to see why I say, even if you're the vibration of something, it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get it. No matter how many vision boards, no matter how much you imagine closing your eyes and imagining the way the gear stick feels, if you're not meant to have it because it is not in your soul's best interest to have it, you will not have it. The soul takes precedent. That's precedence. I'm allowed a mistake. The soul always takes precedence. Always. The blueprint takes precedence. Your themes will not be interrupted or thwarted. That blueprint will happen. This comes down to the fate versus free will argument. Because someone will say, well, listen, I mean, if everything's already planned out, what's the point of me being here? You still have free will. I'll explain it this way. You are going to move from point A to point B. Imagine you're moving down a corridor. There is a path, a specific path you are going to walk. You are going to walk from point A to point B without fail. Nothing you can do about it. That's your life theme. The way that you traverse this corridor, whether you are running, whether you're walking, whether you're jumping, whether you're skipping, whether you're running backwards, whether you're kicking and screaming and being dragged through it, whether you're crawling, that's your free will. How you decide to navigate that theme, the choices you make within those parameters. If your parameters do not allow for certain experiences to happen, they won't happen no matter how much you try to manifest them. And that shouldn't make you feel powerless. That should give you some rhyme or reason as to why certain things don't manifest in your life. Not every experience is meant for everyone, for as many reasons as there are souls. Everyone has their own unique life path and life themes that they will traverse. And I see so many people getting absolutely stumped on this and then turning it into a self-loathing thing of, why can't I have the things I want? Oh, my vibration's not good enough. I haven't tried hard enough. I didn't do the thing well enough. I'm tripping. I didn't believe hard enough. And all these wonderful tactics we have to disparage ourselves on this journey, which is hard enough as it is. The things that are meant for you to experience will not pass you by. Whatever that thing that you are looking for and craving for, the thing that is meant for you will not pass you by. That's the law. That's the way it works. You shouldn't be spending any time trying to force, manifest an outcome into your life. You want to take positive actions, inspired actions in the direction that inspires you and makes you feel passionate, by all means. I'm all for that. But be very aware of what it is you actually think you want, rather than what you need. Again, mind or soul, which one are you embodying? I said this in the last video, the very end. There is always mind consciousness and soul observing consciousness. Which one are you embodying? That's your free will. You have that choice every moment of every day. I would choose soul and focus on the inner world. Focus on building and cultivating that self-love. Because that's when the outside world can change. You're controlling all of it. Because it is your own self-contained universe that is catering to you every moment of every day, no matter how banal your existence can feel sometimes. Oh, I just have to get up and do this job and do this. It's all catered to you. It's where you need to be right now for whatever lessons you need to learn, even if your mind simply doesn't have the quantum machinery to understand why you have to go through this experience. Pull away from the resistance, accept this is where you're at, and move inwards. And always question, why is it that I want what I want? What am I trying to make up for that I'm not giving myself, that I think the outside world is going to give me? What is that object going to give me? What is that relationship going to fulfill? What pain is it supposed to balm? What story is my mind selling me in this moment that is going to give me, that I can't give to myself first? Because that's the lesson. You're a soul awakening. Soul doesn't care about the Lambo or the relationship. It cares about you awakening to the fact that you are soul. That's my take on it. It is a bit of a pet peeve for me when I see that, because it turns really toxic very fast. You see people trying to force themselves into a perpetual state of positivity in the hope that the gods are going to throw candy at them eventually if they've been a good boy or a good girl. But you know what that does? That suppresses all of the actual emotional material that needs to surface within you and come up and out. That stops your spiritual progress. That stops life from moving forward. This sense that I have to remain in this super positive state, otherwise I will never get the things that I want. I won't be good enough to deserve it. I won't appease the manifestation gods enough to get the thing that I really want. You close off that gateway to your own surfacing emotions, you close off that gateway to God. I'll leave it there. I'm going to see you the next time on the Void Compass with more. Be safe and take care.